Thank you for tuning in to TTV. I'm your host, Toya, and today is a Monday. Now, usually I go over meditation or reflection on Mondays, but something else came to me today. When you start to do the kind of work that I encourage people to do, where you find knowledge of yourself, who you are, and really start to work on your inner self, as well as start to pay attention to the things around you, what happens is that the direct communication between you and God or source spirit, the higher self, your ancestors, whatever you want to call it, becomes clearer. And sometimes they wake you up at 6:30 in the morning and tell you go do a video, which is where it comes here. Although it's a little later now, 7 o'clock, because there's some other stuff I had to do first. But I wanted to talk about. No, let me start at the beginning. First of all, I usually do not speak on religion and I do not speak on politics. The reason is because people hold their truths about these subjects to the point where any contradiction against it is going to be defensively rejected. Okay. Um, Even if you present facts and truth to it, people still are wholehearted. They believe this to the death. They will fight you on it. So those are just topics that I stay away from. In the general public, I do not speak on it. I remember when I worked at in corporate America, I remember sitting there one time, and it was just some of the people I work with. We all went to lunch together because we had started together, went through training together, and just one of these days we just got together to have lunch. And I remember somebody brought up the topic of religion, and two of the ladies were so enthralled in this conversation that they were ready to throw blows. Okay. And so that's one of the reasons I don't usually talk about these topics, because it hits too close to home for a lot of people. And it's hard for you to gather information if your walls are up and you're defensive. So I usually stay away from this, but the topic keeps coming up and keeps being brought up about World War III. So the things with the Ukraine that's going on, and Russia and the United States, all of that is playing a part of it. And people are wondering, are we entering World War III? Well, let me tell you, honey, we've been in World War III. Okay. We've been in it. It didn't just start. And I wish I could remember the name of this book, but I can't. But it's this guy who wrote this book. And it goes back to the whole ideal of the New World Order, which, if you can search that, and you can see where all the presidents have spoken on it, especially Bush's. But it was a guy who wrote this book, and everything that he wrote in his book, he basically wrote out what the plan was and how to go about it. And everything that was in this book is actually coming to fruition. So, yeah, I can't think of the name of the book. But the thing is that we are already in it, because this is a world war. Okay, world war, like for real world. This isn't like World War II and one, where they were trying to just take over countries or take over land, or no, this is one to take over the populations. That's why it's called the New World Order, not the old, but the new. Um, I know a lot of you listen to what's put out on social media. You listen to what is put out on, your traditional news stations. And I hope you understand that that stuff is censored. I'm going to give you homework. I'm going to give you homework, because I know some of you aren't going to believe me. And like I said in the video on Friday, anything I say, go research. Go research it. That's all I'm saying. And always, always, always follow the money. Follow the money. Where the money leads, you'll find your answers. So, the broadcast communications, who owns those? Okay. So, I'm going to just use myself as an example. If I owned a communications, like my YouTube channel, I'm going to broadcast programs that I approve of. What are the programs that I approve of? The ones on my channel that I broadcast have to do with self improvement and how you can reach your true potential and become who you were truly meant to be when you came into this world. So that is the programming that I am giving you guys on my channel. So this is my television. Okay. This is the vision that I'm telling you on my channel as I'm channeling my program to you. Okay. That's my channel. And this is the one that I'm in control of and what I'm doing. So I'm giving you what I want. Do you understand what I'm saying? When you go and you turn on to channel 2, channel 4, channel 7, whatever channel that you putting on, when you're looking at Netflix, Hulu, any of that, you are looking at what they decided you can see, what's okay for you to view. And if you don't believe me when I say this, especially when it comes to your news channels, go look up some of those anchors that you don't hear from anymore. Cho Chang was one of one. She was back in the, I can't remember, it was 80s or the 90s, but Cho Chang, she was a big time anchor. Okay. Everybody knew who she was. And then all of a sudden she just disappeared. The reason she disappeared is because she reported on a topic that she was told not to. And it cost her her career. So look up some of those anchors that you remember that you don't see anymore. Like, what happened to them? Go find out what their story is. Go find out what happens to them. Go find out what happens to people who try to report stuff that they don't want reported. And when I say they, it's that 1% that controls a lot of the things that we see out here in social media. Especially when you're looking on TV and Facebook and all of that, they control a lot of that. So go out there and look. You know, the Bilderbergs is I think that's what it's called. No, is it Bilderbergs or Bloomberg? I think it's Bilderbergs, but they have a meeting every year and decide what they want to put out to the public every year. And I think that meeting is actually coming up in the next couple of months too. But just go out there and research it. Okay. As far as the stuff going on with Ukraine, what's in Ukraine that they want so bad? And no, I'm not going to give you the answers. I want you to go out there and look. But what's in Ukraine? Ukraine isn't that big of a country. What's in there that's so bad that they want, that people are after? And if you don't think any of this is true and you don't think none of this has happened, let me explain something. Let me give you a different example. Okay. Since the dawn of civilization, humans have wanted to take over other lands. Okay. They have moved to other lands to take over. Now, the one that most everybody knows is the Romans. But before the Romans, you had the Sumerians. Okay. From the country of Sumer. They were the ones that first started. Actually, they were the originators of civilization. They came up with the legal system. They came up with writings, with the hieroglyphics. They came up with judicial systems, education systems. They came up with all of that. All of that happened in Sumer. And from Sumer, they went to Mesopotamia, they went to Egypt, and they started spreading and taking over. Okay. Then fast forward, then you have the Romans who did the same thing. They took over. They started, conquering and taking over. China wanted to conquer and take over. Russia wanted to conquer and take over. That was human nature. It's been that way from the dawns of the days. Okay. Back when farmers had farmland and I want some of this land. You can even go back to the beginning of the Americas when they were going out to the wild, wild west. Okay. You can go out there and get your land, and they fought over the land. People died over trying to get land that the government was trying to give out for free. Okay. So it has always been a thing about conquering land and getting more land. Okay. So why did all of that stop? How come the United States isn't trying to take over other lands in other countries? Why isn't China trying to take over other lands in other countries? Why isn't Russia and Germany and all these high powers? Why aren't they trying to take over other lands and claim them like they did back in the day? I'm waiting. It doesn't make sense, does it? When we've done that from the dawns of days, why isn't it now? Is it because of the UN? Why did they create the UN? Why you need a United Nations? Why create that? What's the purpose of it? So just some food for thought that I was awoken. I know that's not a real word, but yeah, I got nudged this morning to get out of bed and come in here and do this video for you guys this morning to get your thought process started. Okay. Really pay attention to what's going on. Pay attention to wording. I'm finding more and more that the words that we use that are common practice are used for a reason. For example, the word decide. Okay. When you have a pesticide, what is that? It kills off pests, right? Yeah, suicide, you're killing yourself. Genocide, you're killing off most, a certain population or a certain group of people, right? So to decide, you are killing off all other options. So when we make a decision and we decide to do something, we're not giving ourselves any other options. So words are powerful, okay? And the words that we tell ourselves are powerful. And you may say, "Well, Toya, I don't mean decide like that. I mean like I made a decision, like I made a choice to do something." And say choice, because believe it or not, on a subconscious level, all that stuff does make a huge difference. So pay attention to what you're saying. Pay attention to wording. Like I just told you, television, programming, channeling. Pay attention. Pay attention to those words. And once you start paying attention and start looking into things, you'll find out that a lot of stuff that you thought meant things doesn't. You thought it was one way. It's not. It's a different way. You just have to broaden your mind on it and really wake up to a lot of things that are going on. But again, as far as this war is going on, honey, we've been in it. We've been in it. That's why you have censorship. Okay, that's why I'm told y'all on Friday. I'm learning about the U.S. code and credit and all of that. I'm going back to that journey to finish up where I left off, and it's a lot that's not told. Okay, if you are in control and you are in power, you do not want to give that power up. And you will do what is in your best interest. Okay. So things that you have financial investments are in is what you're going to be concerned with. Okay, with things that you control, that's what you're going to be concerned with. There was a video. I wonder if I can pull it up real quick. Let me look and see. But it was a video. I don't know who sent it to me because I get sent videos and stuff all the time. But there was a video that was sent to me on the Rothschilds, and it had to do with the pharmacy. And no, it's not on this account. Let me check my other account. But it had to do with the pharmacy and how they went in and they purchased. This ain't the account either. They went in and they did a purchase of a pharmaceutical company. And from there, no, it's not on here. Okay, so he went on and he bought a pharmaceutical company, and from there, I can't remember if it was Rothschild or Rockefeller, one of the two. But they bought this pharmaceutical company, and from the pharmaceutical company, they started to change things in the medical industry, and I think they bought a medical school as well. But they started changing things in the medical field, which is why and move people away from using herbs and things like that, and called it alternative medicine, and that this is the new medicine as far as what we have in medicine for today, and why herbs and things like that are called alternative, because even though that's what people were using at the time, they moved them away to pill popper. But anyway, that's a whole nother story. You can research it yourself, go out there and look up information on it. But this is what I was told to get out of my bed that I was very comfortable in and come share this message with you. And like I said, when you go down this journey, sometimes that's what happens. They tell you, get out the bed, go look this up. You like, well, it's 6 o'clock in the morning. I don't care. Go look it up. I need you to know this, and you end up getting up early in the morning. But anyway, like I said, that was what I was told to bring to you guys today. I really do hope you guys do your due diligence and go research the information that I provide to you. And again, no, I don't give you everything. I don't give you 100% of what it is you're looking for. Number one, because I don't want you to use me as your source of truth. Your source of truth would be you going out there and doing your own due diligence and your own research. I'm not your source of truth, okay? The information that I provide to you is information I'm told. I'm no expert in anything, okay? I'm not an expert in anything. So, but do your due diligence and go out there and look, research the things that I say. Don't use me as your source of truth, okay? It's a lot going on in because of the censorship, and because even though I do have my channel, it is on YouTube, I'm still censored. There's certain things that I can say and can't say. There's certain stuff that I can put up and I can't put up. And I'm sure because of some of the wording that I used and the ones I'm putting the tags to for this video and the one I did on Friday, oh, I know my channel is probably going to be on that list. It's going to be on that watch list that they got. But hey, that's what I'm here for. That's what I do. So here I am. I'll be on the same watch list as a whole lot of other people on this on YouTube. But anyway, I hope you got some knowledge out of it. Again, do your due diligence. I love you guys, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.